Okay, multi-step equations. The first thing I need to do is get rid of what's in the denominator. To get rid of what's in the denominator, I multiply both sides by what is in the denominator. So I'm going to multiply both sides by that. When I do that, it's a negative 6x minus 5. And I do the same thing on the other side, minus 6x minus 5. I'm going to multiply both sides by what's in the denominator. The purpose of doing that is so this cancels. Okay? When that cancels, I am left with this, which will be on my left side, and that's going to equal 1. So I have a negative 6x minus 5 times 5 equals 1. Multiply this out using my distributive property. Negative 30x minus 25 equals 1. I now have a two-step equation right here, two-step equation. So I'm going to add 25 to both sides. When I add 25, I get a negative 30x equals 26. Divide both sides by a negative 30. So I get x equals negative, and then lowest terms, 13/15. Now, remember, if there's any time I make a mistake, let me know, and I'll redo the videos. All right, looking at the next problem. Again, I multiply both sides by what is in the denominator. If you think back a couple lessons, remember we had this problem. 7 is equal to x over 4. And what we did is we multiplied both sides by 4. That gave you 28 equals x. We do the same thing in this problem. We're going to multiply both sides by what's in the denominator, just like we did in those easier problems. When I do that, I end up taking 7 times x plus 5, and that will equal 10, because the x plus 5, when I multiply on the right side, will cancel, just leaving me 10 on the right side. 7x plus 35 is equal to 10. Subtract the 35 from both sides. 7x equals negative 25. Divide by 7, divide by 7. X equals a negative 25 sevenths. That is my answer. Next problem, here we are. We're going to do the same thing. Even though there's all this mess on the top, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to multiply right there. I'm multiplying both sides by the x plus 6. The left side, it's going to cancel. X plus 6 is going to cancel with the x plus 6. So I'm left with, in this case, this part is going to be on my left side. Doesn't matter, though, if you have it on the left side or if you have it on the right side of the equal sign. And that is going to equal, again, the 3 times x plus 6. Negative 11x plus 16 is equal to 3x plus 18. I now have variables on both sides. Remember, I always choose to get rid of my variable on the right side. It's just what I do. So negative 14x plus 16 is equal to 18. Subtract 16 on both sides. Two-step equation now, so I subtract 16 on both sides. Negative 14x is equal to, that would be 2. Divide both sides by negative 14, and my answer will be a negative 1/7, if I did all my math correct. Next problem, same thing. I'm going to write this a little quicker. I'm going to write this first. 18x minus 4 equals, and I'm going to multiply this out. Negative 24x plus 12. I have variables on both sides. I'm going to choose to get rid of the variable on the right side. When I do that, 42x minus 4 is equal to 12. add 4 to both sides, and that's 42x equals 16. Divide by 42. X will equal, got to write that down, divide by 42. 2 goes into both. 2 goes into 16, 8. 2 goes into 42, 21. So I get 8 over 21 as my answer. Next problem. Same thing. I am going to multiply 4x minus 4 on both sides. When I multiply on the left side, 4x minus 4, that cancels. Wow, what happened? That cancels. That leaves me with the negative 12x plus 16. On the right side, when I multiply by the 4x minus 4, I get 28x minus 28. I have x's on both sides. I choose to get rid of the x on the right side always. I don't know if I should say always, but most of the time. If you wanted to get rid of the negative 12x, you would add 12x to both sides. Your x would end up on the other side. This will be a negative 40x plus 16 equals a negative 28. I now have a two-step equation. So I subtract 16 from both sides. Negative 40x equals a negative 3044. Divide both sides by a negative 40. And when I divide both sides by a negative 40, I get x equals, 4 goes into both. First of all, negative divided by negative is positive. 4 goes into both, 11 tenths. So my answer is 11 tenths. Here, even though it looks different, the problem is the same. I am going to multiply both sides by negative 4x minus 2. Negative 4x minus 2. Now, I'm showing this step, but you don't have to show that step. You can do all that in your head. That goes away. Over here, when I multiply that out, I get a negative 16x minus 8 equals 17. Most of you will look at the computer screen, especially after you've done a couple problems, and go right to this, which in this case is a two-step equation. So then you add 8, that will be a negative 16x equals 25. Divide both sides by a negative 16, and I get x equals a negative 25/16. That was the last problem. Good luck. And remember, anytime you see a mistake in these videos, let me know so I can redo them correctly.